Hey guys, and welcome back to another video, and I hope everyone has a great day. If you're new, welcome. My name is Jai, and welcome to my channel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. But thank you again for tuning in. And we are back with another scary video. This is by Dark Ace Animations. This is 2 true creepy night shift horror stories animated. Let's do it.
When I was in college, I worked a night shift one summer vacation.
Yep.
I was 19 years old and an average-looking female. I wasn't enthused about having to work a job over the summer, but it was the only way I was going to be able to afford tuition. Working night shift was probably the weirdest experience of my life. It was at the McDonald's drive-thru. I still remember my first night on the job. This lady came in and was talking to someone while she was waiting for us to take her order.
Okay.
She sounded extremely upset, and she was screaming at the top of her lungs. It sounded like it was directed at someone in the back seat.
Oh.
I immediately assumed that perhaps she was abusing her children.
Oh.
I'm a psychology major, so I naturally pick up on stuff like that. She ordered 3 Big Macs.
I'm thinking it must be a homeless person in front of her.
My intuition has been wrong.
Intuition.
When she pulled up to pay for her meal, she was completely alone. I was honestly a little startled. Why would this lady be here, wanting this much food and screaming in her car if she was alone? I couldn't wrap my head around the situation.
Someone is
She was otherwise polite.
someone's outside.
She was nice as she spoke to me and paid for her food and left. She even told me to have a good night. She had been the only customer we had in probably a 45-minute window.
Okay.
And after she left, I saw some of my coworkers laughing at me. I asked them what was so funny, and he told me it was my first encounter with Schizo Susan.
Oh.
They told me that she regularly did stuff like this and always showed up at all hours of the night to order seemingly too much food. She was always yelling at people in her car, but there was never anyone actually in her car. They didn't actually know her name, so they just started calling her Schizo Susan.
Really?
They told me that there were occasional nights when she was
That's
the only
funny.
customer to come through the drive-thru at all. And I found that extremely unnerving. I immediately started wondering what was wrong with this woman. About a week
Now, what if one of your family members had
she came in every night just like I
schizophrenia?
said. And in between speaking to me to order her food and picking up her food, she was always yelling at someone. I couldn't take it anymore. I had to know what was up. So I formulated a plan. I was just going to ask her who she was speaking to.
She has schizophrenic.
Play it off,
Just
but
let her
I thought she
be.
was talking to me. It was the best I could come up with without seeming abrasive. I remember it being a Friday night when I decided I was going to go do it. I had chickened out a couple of times, but I figured that since I don't work the weekends, may as well try something new to end my last shift for the week. Well, the night that I did it, I listened into her screaming for a few more seconds than I normally did. You see, I can listen to what people are saying through the McDonald's speaker without them necessarily knowing that I'm listening. If I don't say anything, they would never know. I normally never did this because it's kind of frowned upon. I'm pretty sure there's some kind of rule against it, but I listened for maybe 20 or 30 seconds. I listened for long enough to know that she was yelling at someone named Darian. When she was in the middle of saying something, I interrupted her and said, "I'm sorry, ma'am, were you speaking to me?" She just replied, "No." Okay, I thought to myself. I knew that I had to try something else. I asked her if Darian would be ordering with her, and she was silent. It wasn't an entire minute, but she just didn't say anything. After the second time of asking her if she was still there, she let out a banshee of a scream. It was the loudest thing that I've ever heard in my life. It really hurt my ears, blasting through the intercom. The McDonald's microphone system is already pretty loud, but when someone screams into it, trust me when I say that it's the most unbearable thing you've ever experienced. I was also surprised at how long she screamed. She had one deep, guttural scream going for like 30 entire seconds. In the moment, though, I was scared for my life. I also got really worried that I was going to lose my job. I felt really guilty for asking, like it was my fault for setting her off. In retrospect, I don't think I really did anything horrible to her. Literally just asked her if the person whose name she was screaming just a minute ago was also going to be ordering food. He didn't actually say anything when she screamed. It was just kind of a violent and guttural screaming. I was really taken aback there for a minute. How the heck do you even respond to that? I asked her if she wanted to continue placing her order, and that's when she just drove away. She floored it and drove way faster than she should have. And as she drove by, I saw her face looking at me through the window. It must have only been a split second that I could see her,
come for you.
I got that one really good look at her. She looked extremely distressed, and as if things couldn't get any weirder, the microphone system stopped working correctly the rest of the night. I think she screamed loud enough to break something in it. And that was hands down the weirdest thing to ever happen to me throughout any job I've ever worked. And this weird lady just disappeared after that. She stopped coming to McDonald's altogether. I asked some of the other coworkers how long she has been stopping by for her nightly visits, and all they said was that it was for as long as they can remember, which probably meant at least a year for some of them. I felt somewhat guilty for angering this lady so badly, but I think it is safe to say she probably needs some serious mental help.
Yeah,
I haven't worked at McDonald's in a long time, and I don't ever plan on working fast food again.
McDonald's.
I just hope
Fast
that
food.
wherever that lady ended up, she got the help that she so desperately needed. I work at a regional grocery store. I'm a 26-year-old female. I graduated from college with a master's degree in psychology and still couldn't find a job. Due to family circumstances, I wasn't able to get my PhD, which was basically the bare minimum to land any decent paying job. So, I was a little stuck. I even had a hard time finding a regular job. I had applied to a bunch of lower positions, but I kept getting rejected.
That's
because I
that
was
4 years of
overqualified.
college of like a
Over and over again, people
educated
told me that
career
I
and you
would
still
get
can't
too
find
bored
a
of the
job.
and so they wouldn't hire me. This made me livid. After a certain point, my student loan payments were due and I really needed the money. I had to ask my cousin's friend for a job. He was the manager at this regional grocery store. Literally the only position they had available was stocking shelves on Nightshift. I couldn't believe myself. I was so ashamed. I felt like I'd wasted years of my life and thousands of dollars in debt just to get a job anyone could do. But either way, the job itself wasn't all that bad. I was allowed to listen to my earbuds while I worked. This meant I could turn on my favorite podcast while working. My favorite murder, if you're wondering. I must have worked there for about a year before the big change came. Previously, the store closed down at 12 in the morning, but for whatever reason, that policy got changed and it became a 24-hour store.
I mean, at least you don't have to talk to nobody. You can
Sunday
just
nights.
chill by
It
yourself.
really sucked. What used to be my podcast and stock the shelves time kept getting interrupted by stupid customers asking where things were.
Oh.
That was fine. I didn't mind helping people out.
Oh, never
I
mind.
worked there after all. But they would literally ask me where the most obvious grocery items were. So many times I couldn't help but think, are you literally blind or stupid? But then there was one night when
That
a
used to
very
be me.
strange man came up to me. He had really buggish eyes. His entire body was round, and he had the longest nose hair I'd ever seen on a human being.
Like, don't you
Like
know the
he
signs
took
are
the
up
hair right
there?
off of his head and glued it into his nose. I was down on my knees stocking the bottom shelf was when he touched my hair.
Oh.
I had my hair in a ponytail that night, and he lightly caressed the part of it that was touching my back. I jerked back and asked him, "Excuse me?" He tried playing it off like he had arthritis, but I knew that he was just being a creep. I asked him what he wanted.
What is your problem?
He stood there for a second. He seemed to be thinking of what to say, but only one word came out of his mouth. You. He walked up closer to me and then started to smell my shoulder.
Oh my
It
god.
felt so weird, and I don't think I could have been more creeped out. I told him that if he doesn't need any help finding any items, then I had work I had to be doing. But he kept standing there. He started smiling real wide and then hugged me. "It's okay, darling. I'm going to take care of you." At this point, I was screaming inside of my own head.
Why, oh, why?
This
You gotta get
was
some
crossing
mace
a million different minds.
with a tase
I
and
pushed him off of me
cut
and
him,
ran to get my
something.
manager, who was a larger guy. He'd have no problem fighting this creep if came to it. The creepy guy followed me as I went.
Oh, you're not by yourself, good.
The nerve on this guy. When he saw my manager down the aisle, he must have had second thoughts because he turned around and started running away.
Just please
I
leave.
explained to my manager everything that had happened, and he said he'd take care of it if that guy came back again. And that creep was smart, because he waited a couple of weeks before he did come back.
Oh.
He waited long enough that the incident would not be on the tip of anyone's mind. I wasn't expecting him, and neither was my manager. I was standing there, stocking a shelf like I always did, and all of a sudden I felt someone tugging my hair. They tugged really hard, and it
Now you
really
about to
hurt
get
my neck.
cut. Now you about to
They
get
totally
tased.
overpowered me and started dragging me across the floor.
Oh.
At this point, I hadn't even realized who
What
it was until I
the?
looked up to see that man.
You wearing the
He dragged
same
me a
stuff?
solid 30 feet to the exit before someone saw what was going on. It wasn't my manager, but it was another one of the girls who worked with me. She started screaming like a banshee and running at him. And for one reason or another, he decided to run away again. I was beyond relieved. I couldn't believe that he was just going to walk up to me and start dragging me out of the store by my hair. What kind of psycho does that?
Like, bro, I don't know
It
you.
was all just truly horrifying. This was finally the incident that convinced the store owner that we had to have security if we were going to be
This
open.
incident or the incident that happened?
We had a security guard somewhere on the premises after that, and I felt a lot safer. I'm still looking for a job in psychology, and I really hope I can get one soon.
Well, good luck
I felt
finding
I
your
really
job.
needed a break after having gone through all of this.
Good luck. Good
Thank
luck.
you for watching. These stories are narrated by Let's Read. And check out our channel Dark
Okay.
Ace Narrative. Please
Okay.
subscribe as we are close to 1K subscribers. Links in the description below.
I some registered Let's Read a couple of videos. Yeah. McDonald's. You like I don't get paid enough for this. A creepy person. You got mean people coming in and out the job. I mean, I know this franchise make enough money. Let's at like at least $2, $3 up. I know they make. I think the minimum wage out here is 12. I think. I don't know. Make it 15, 16, 20 for that matter. Cause anything can go down in a public place where you work at. Yeah, so tell me guys what you think about this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And check out my other channels in the description below. Much appreciation. Yeah, thank you for my subscribers, all that. And until next time, you guys, stay positive, stay awesome. Until next time.